Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm back to break down this 6-game NBA DFS slate on DraftKings. Before we get into it, if you do enjoy the content at any point in this video, if you could please leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, I would greatly appreciate that. If you feel like it's entertaining, if you feel like I'm offering you any value, if you feel like I'm giving you some good statistics and or advice, any of the above, if you could take 1 second to do that, that would be awesome. Recently reached 400 subscribers, on the way to 500, so thank you to everyone that has supported so far. And if you are getting really serious about NBA DFS, I do offer some further, more in-depth content, a little bit of a preview on the screen behind me. But pretty much what you'll get access to is my NBA projections, premium NBA projections, NBA data sheet, player stats, team stats, play context stats, core plays, injury impact insights, and NBA Discord chat access. All of these fun tools to help you be better at NBA DFS, to help you win some money. I know the people that have been really dedicated over there have had a very good season so far using those tools, so check that out, link below in the description. Very affordable price, much cheaper than you're going to get around the industry with these other big sites that are charging you, $30, $40 a month. So I would highly recommend checking that out if you are getting serious playing a lot of NBA DFS. And with that being said, let's go ahead and start breaking down this slate today. First game on the slate, we have Dallas taking on Philadelphia. This game right now comes in with a 5.5-point spread in favor of the Philadelphia 76ers. There is no over-under release yet, so I have to keep an eye on that line. We do have Kristaps Porzingis and Seth Curry both listed as questionable in this one. Porzingis missing the last 2 games, so keep an eye on that one because if he's out, that's going to give more minutes to guys like Dwight Powell, Willie Cauley-Stein, and James Johnson. So keep an eye on that news as well as Maxi Kleber because Maxi Kleber's back. That will also affect that front court rotation. If we find that one of these guys is back, they're going to be priority over the other 3. If we find that both of them are out, we're going to continue to be able to play guys like James Johnson, Willie Cauley-Stein, and Dwight Powell. Especially at the price tag. They're only 3-2, 3-3, and, that doesn't necessarily scare me off them as far as being all the way priced down there. Now, if Porzingis is out, that does give a big usage bump to Luka Doncic as well. He becomes the main... he already is the main primary usage guy, but he just gets that much more usage if there is no Kristaps Porzingis. So keep that in mind because that will also be very important whether we're playing Luka or not. And then on the Philadelphia side, as mentioned, there is Seth Curry with questionable. That might open up some more minutes for other people. However, he is listed as probable, so I'd expect him to be back in this one. I'm not really worried about him sitting out, which makes it pretty clear on this team. It's always Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, and Tobias Harris. I do prioritize them kind of in reverse order as far as their salaries are concerned. Right now, Joel Embiid probably would be my top priority overall, but based on price tag, I would go Tobias Harris at 8-1 just because his price tag, I think he has the most room for upside with the minutes and the usage he's getting. Ben Simmons stuck in the middle here. I'm not all too interested. I'd probably rather go up to Joel Embiid or down to Tobias Harris. I only really play Ben Simmons if we find out that one of these guys is out. Then he gets a big bump up in usage, and then I'd have more interest, but that's about it for me in this game, honestly. Moving further along, Orlando taking on Brooklyn. Right now, this game comes in with a 226.5 over-under with a 7.5-point spread in favor of the Brooklyn Nets. Not expected to be close and not expected to be the fastest-paced game in comparison to a lot of the Brooklyn Nets games that we have seen so far since this big 3 has been assembled. So, James Harden and Kyrie Irving are going to continue to be great plays with no Kevin Durant. These guys are both going to continue to just get a bunch of usage, especially James Harden. Consistently having triple-double upside, consistently getting right around a triple-double a game. So continue to really prioritize James Harden moving forward. If there was a game that faded in, this might be the one strictly because of pace, but these 2 guys really are excelling. I mean, Kyrie Irving hasn't really scratched his ceiling so far. It's the one thing I will say. This guy has been putting up around like mid-40s DraftKings points. We're just waiting on him to put up like a 70-point game because he's definitely capable, and he is only 8-9, so when that night happens, you're going to need him in your lineup, so continue to play Kyrie. He will have that big game eventually. And then on the Orlando side, there continues to be no Aaron Gordon, no Cole Anthony. So that's giving a big usage bump to the rest of these starters in Nikola Vucevic, Evan Fournier. Nikola Vucevic having to leave the game temporarily last time out. Still got you to 41 DraftKings points, so if he was able to stay healthy and in the game the entire time, you could imagine the upside he maybe could have put on display there. And then you got Evan Fournier, Terrence Ross, Michael Carter-Williams, all these guys. I mean, the main 3 are really the top 3 price guys for good reason. Evan Fournier, Terrence Ross, and Nikola Vucevic. Those are the 3 guys you're really looking to lock in on for sure in this one. Michael Carter-Williams continues to get more minutes as well, so I have no issues with playing him. Just his upside's been somewhat capped, but he is at a much cheaper salary, so not going to talk you off playing him, and it'll be interesting to see how he grades out my final projection run. And then keep an eye on Jeff Green and TLC news as far as their injury status is concerned. I will continue to have interest in Joe Harris, with there being no Kevin Durant at 5.5. I think he continues to be too cheap for the upside that he could provide you. He's getting right around like 30 DraftKings points a game right now, but with his ability to shoot the three ball, he can very easily get you up to like 40 DraftKings points real quick. All it takes is 3 threes, and he's there for you. So Sacramento taking on New York in the third game on the slate. Julius Randle comes in at a 9-1 price tag. This game right now comes in with a 222.5 over-under, and I'm going to absolutely love Julius Randle in this one. Taking on the Sacramento team that has been very dreadful defensively, down to 9-1. We've been paying like 9.5, 9.4, 9.3 for this guy. His price tag has gone down, and he gets the greatest matchup you could ask for taking on the Sacramento squad. So Julius Randle at 9-1 is going to be a big priority for me on this slate. De'Aaron Fox, Halliburton, Buddy Hield, all these guys starting to get priced in the same tier. Halliburton has actually surpassed Buddy Hield as far as price tags are concerned. He's up to 6.6, putting up 48 and 52 DraftKings points the last 2 times out. So DraftKings now saying that Halliburton is a better fantasy point producer than Buddy Hield, which, but judging by the last few games, he has been. So these are things that maybe the beginning of the season you never thought you would predict, but it's just the truth. So Harrison Barnes, 37 minutes last time out, put up 24 DraftKings points. He continues to be, somewhat underpriced for the amount of minutes he's playing. But overall, this game just kind of slows, too slow a pace for me after that. Hassan Whiteside is listed as out, so we could definitely have some interest in Marvin Bagley and Bielitsa. I'd expect these guys to get a bit of a bump up in rebound upside, usage, minutes, all the above, with there being no Hassan Whiteside. And Glenn Robinson was recently cut as well. So you factor in all these things, I think those guys you could be taking a hard look to for sure in this one. And the last guy I will mention would be RJ Barrett at 5.5. I mentioned Julius Randle. I think RJ Barrett at 5.5 is a great option as well. Recently kind of being not that great in fantasy point per minute production. I think this is a game he could have a huge game at 5.5. So those two guys I feel real good about playing. And then, don't forget about Richaun Holmes at 5.7. I didn't mean to skip over him. There's no Hassan Whiteside. He is upside. So, I have no issue with playing Richaun Holmes. The Los Angeles Clippers taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. This game comes in with a 229 over-under with a 7.5 point spread in favor of the Los Angeles Clippers. So, a fairly respectable spread for these two teams. It's expected to stay somewhat close. We're not dealing with like a double-digit spread or anything like that, but the pace isn't exactly the greatest. So we're going to be looking really to injuries. Dylan Brooks continues to be listed as questionable. Desmond Bane continues to get an increase in usage and minutes when he's out. So, Grayson Allen as well at 4.8 you could be looking to if Dylan Brooks continues to be out. These guys continue to be filtered into the rotation, though. You got DeAnthony Melton too. You got Tyus Jones. So how much interest we're really going to have in these guys is kind of like, I don't know if I'm really trying to go there. I am definitely trying to go to Jonas Valanciunas and Ja Morant, though. Both these guys get a bunch of usage on their respective team, and both are priced in the mid 7K range. So plenty of room for upside. Jonas Valanciunas isn't even in the mid 7K range. He's down to 7K now. These guys both have fantasy point upside as far as like 50 points or more. So at that price tag, I don't think that's enough to scare me off them. Then you got Kyle Anderson and Brandon Clark, with there being no Jaren Jackson Jr. These guys continuing to fill in the minutes for him, but they are seeing their minutes kind of filtered out recently. As mentioned, the rest of this Memphis team is starting to get filtered in. Not to mention Justice Winslow's back at 3.8. He's played 21 and 26 minutes. So I'm really looking to lock in on Ja Morant and Jonas Valanciunas. As far as these other guys, it's getting a little scary to go there. On the Los Angeles Clippers side, it's always pretty easily. You're locking in Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, and the same thing applies to their team, honestly. When you get down past that, there's so many guys and so many bodies they're throwing in the rotation that I'm not all too interested. I would be prioritizing Paul George over Kawhi Leonard. There's a slight price tag decrease, and I just prefer to target Paul George in games that aren't quite as, I don't want to say important, but aren't against teams that aren't like the main NBA title competitors expected to see them in the postseason. That's when I more like to go to Kawhi Leonard. If it's more for a free-for-all and they're just trying to get some buckets, I like Paul George a lot more. So at 8-8, I'd be prioritizing Paul George on the Clippers side. Washington taking on Denver. This game's expected to be real quick. We have Nikola Jokic priced at 10-4. This game has with a 237 over-under with a 7-point spread in favor of the Denver Nuggets. And you got to like Nikola Jokic in this spot at 10-4. This guy's fantasy point production and also his price tag just keeps decreasing is what it comes down to. He's at 10-4. We were paying like $11K for him. He's come down 600. He gets one of the best matchups you could ask for. He's had a lot of really good matchups lately. He just took on this Washington team not too long ago. Put up 59 DraftKings points. Then he took on Atlanta, put up 43. Then he took on Portland, put up 58, which is pretty good. But honestly, for Nikola Jokic, it's not even that good. I mean, this guy can literally go out there and put up 70 real quick for you in this matchup. So continue to play him for sure. Westbrook and Bradley Beal, 9-5 and 9-2. And Westbrook did play on the back-to-back. Then they had a day off, so I'd expect him to continue to be in. And he's put up 61, 63, and 52 DraftKings points in an up-tempo game. This guy continues to be really close to triple-doubles, so I will like him. And Bradley Beal I like as well. It's a fast-paced game. You could play either one of these guys. You could play both. You're getting a little risky there. I mean, most likely you're going to want to play only one in each of your lineups, but and then Jamal Murray at 8-4 continues to really produce at a very high rate. 61, 68, 45, and 49 DraftKings points. Taking on this Washington team. I love him as well. Michael Porter Jr. at 6K is a guy that's been grading out very well in my projections. Hasn't really done much until last game. He did put up 30 DraftKings points, so maybe he's starting to get back on track. But I would prioritize Will Barton at a discount at 5-1 over him right now just because of the similar minutes, similar production. I don't know. It's tough because Michael Porter Jr. grades out as a very good fantasy point per minute producer in my projection model and oftentimes grades out well and then has just been a little underwhelming. But there is no Jermichael Green. There is no Paul Millsap. They're going to need wing minutes out of these guys, so I like them. There is no Gary Harris as well. So I would continue to play both of them, honestly. I'm looking to play Michael Porter Jr. and Will Barton, especially in this matchup taking on Washington. Their defense is just terrible, so. And then don't forget to mention that Davis Bertans is questionable. So if Davis Bertans is out, we're going to be taking a hard look to some of these other guys like a Denny Avdija on the Washington side. He's going to get a lot more minutes, and he would become a very good value play. And then maybe they're even throwing in some more minutes for a guy like Alex Len, Mo Wagner, the big men. So keep an eye on that news. New Orleans taking on Milwaukee, last game of the slate. This game comes in with a 241 over-under with a 9-point spread in favor of the Milwaukee Bucks. A very fast-paced game. We got these last two games on the slate. You're going to be putting a lot of guys in these games in your lineups. Giannis Antetokounmpo at 11K. I think it's a big priority on the slate. We have all of these studs priced up. So we got Giannis, Nikola Jokic. We talked about Luka Doncic. I tend to lean towards the ones that are in these fast up-tempo games. So if you're asking me to pick, because I know like I've been talking about play this guy. I mean, these last two games are the fastest-paced games. So if I'm prioritizing, I'm playing a Nikola Jokic. I'm playing a Giannis Antetokounmpo. They're going to be in much faster-paced games, and they still have that same fantasy point per minute production. So both of these guys are making a lot of sense in this one on the slate. Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram continue to be great plays in the mid-8K range. Zion consistently putting up around 50 DraftKings points, so continue to look at him. Brandon Ingram down to 7-9 now. Put up 50 DraftKings points last time out. I don't know why his price tag continues to decrease, but we will take it. Continue to play him. Chris Middleton and Dante DiVincenzo are going to continue to be great plays if there is no Drew Holiday in this one. Now, he is listed as doubtful. So, yeah, I'm going to really like Chris Middleton. I'm going to really like Dante DiVincenzo. And you could be playing an Eric Bledsoe in a bit of a revenge narrative at 4-8, but I think he continues to see his minutes somewhat dwindle away in this rotation. So I'm not really looking to go there. Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Hart also playing very good lately at 5K. He's seen his price tag increase, but I don't know. It's tough to go there at 5K. He continues to see his price tag increase, even though he played good a few games. It's like, I don't know about that one. So, Bobby Portis listed as probable, and that's about it, honestly. These guys down here, you're getting a little cute. I expect the game to stay close, so I'm really looking to play the main guys in the rotation. On the New Orleans side, I will definitely have interest in Lonzo Ball at 6'3", so he'd be the last one that I'm really focused on. Those top 3 guys, I'm interested in Lonzo, I'm interested in Zion Williamson, I'm interested in Brandon Ingram. Those are definitely my top priorities as far as playing guys from their team. And that is my overall breakdown of the 6-game slate. Before I let you guys go, I got to give you my lock of the night. Let's get into it. And my lock of the night tonight is going to be RJ Barrett for this New York Knicks squad. Only priced at 5.5 against one of the best matchups you could ask for. Taking on this Sacramento Kings squad that plays absolutely zero defense. We haven't seen this guy really provide the same upside that he was providing early on in the season lately, only putting up 36, 28, 31, and then 17 DraftKings points recently. I'd expect him to get back on track in this game and have a big performance at only 5.5. This guy literally could go out there and put up 45, 50 DraftKings points for you at that price tag. That'll make a big difference for you in tournaments, and it is for that reason, the combination of the matchup, the minutes, the usage, the fantasy point per minute production, the recent struggles that might not give him as much ownership, that I absolutely love RJ Barrett tonight, and he is my lock of the night. So there you have it, guys. RJ Barrett, 5.5. Get him in your lineups, and that is all from me in this one. If you did enjoy the content, if you could please leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell, I would greatly appreciate that. And then don't forget to check out my KJK DFS links linked below. Patreon package, I got merch down there. I don't really mention very often, but all of that fun stuff going on. Thank you for tuning into this one. Wish you all the best of luck tonight, and we will see you in the next one.